The next page that has cuts is page 5, but we're actually not going to cut that one until we have decorated it. So just go ahead and set one of the pages aside that you've taken out to make cuts onto. So we will do that one shortly. Okay, we're going to do another just like our last one with a flap. Let me just be sure of the measurements for you here. We want to take 2 3/8 of an inch off. So again, open up your page, take 2 3/8 inches off of this side. So you'll have another flat page here. Go ahead and set that one aside. And then we'll move on to the last page, which is another flat page. I didn't realize I had so many flat pages in here. But this one is actually on the last page, so it's going to need to open this direction. So what we'll do is we will open our pages up like we have been, only instead of cutting on the left-hand side, we will cut on the right-hand side. Let me just make sure of the measurement here for you, how much you want to take off. We want to take off 2 inches. So go ahead and trim that off. And then we will have a flap there. Okay. Now the fun part. I know probably after making all of these cuts for this, you're about ready to just die because you thought, oh my goodness, what have I gotten myself into? Because I know there are a ton of cuts, but I promise that this is the fun part, and this is the results you'll just be so excited with, because this is really a fun album. Okay, let's start with our cover. It's easy to tell which one is the cover because on the back of the album there's a little 7 Gypsies logo that's kind of debossed in there. So go ahead and set that one aside because that's the back. And take your front cover and grab your pieces for your cover, which are all outlined in the emails that I sent. So they should be, hopefully they'll be easy for you to get together. I'm just gonna see which direction this needs to go here. Kind of set it out. I like to visualize everything before I actually glue it down. Okay, so that's what we're gonna have here. So go ahead and, oops, I always do that. I always use my tape runner. Ooh, this one's loud. I haven't used these refillable ones before, and this one's got a funny little noise, so sorry about that. But I always start out using it the wrong way. I don't know why. I'm just adhesive impaired, I guess. So don't laugh too hard at me. Okay, and we'll just pop this down here. And we'll grab this piece and set it down right in the middle. Now after our letters dry, for the, if you've decided to glitter or paint them, whatever, we'll go back and I'll show you where they go at the end, just so that you can let them dry during this time. Okay, so now we will grab page 1, which is your accordion page. And our pieces for this page are this big brown piece, which you can just go ahead and glue down to your page here. Man, I'm sorry this is so loud. I hope it's not coming across really loud on the on the video. Maybe I'll go back to my trusty old glue stick here soon, so I'm not driving you guys crazy. And now, this is one of the strips that came on the strip tees. And in the instructions, I asked you to cut it right at the end of the S because we're going to use this part that says Christmas on one page and this part that has the brown snowflakes on it on the cover here. So if that was confusing to you, that's what I meant. And I'll go ahead and cut it right now so you can see what I mean in case you haven't cut yours yet. Just trim it right. And I mean, I want to do it right on the edge, as close as I can get it. That's pretty close. And now I will just flip this piece over and glue the snowflake piece down right there on the front of my accordion. Okay. So if you're doing this album already, think how good you're gonna feel when it gets to be closer to Christmas and you already have this done. Woohoo! And if you're just doing it like right before Christmas or after, then you're more like me because I'm never on time with anything. Okay, now we're going to put the strip of mistletoe paper, just kind of find where it fits better for you on the accordion. Mine fits better in the middle. Because that's the one thing about not being real precise with your accordion is you're going to end up with slightly different sized sheets than, you know, each book that you make will be slightly different. They're not going to be perfect unless you have a good way of making them perfect. So just kind of make it work for you. And then what you can do is you can take a 4x6 picture and cut, you know, that happens to have maybe just a person in it or something that's narrow and put it there. I left this blank because I thought this would be a fun place to journal. But if you don't like that idea, you do have extra paper left over in your kit, so you could make some strips and, you know, fill that up as well. So you choose. That's what I want you guys to be able to do. I mean, I appreciate going to classes because I like getting the idea, but once I'm there, a lot of times I'll just tweak things as I'm making it and I'll end up with something that's quite a bit different looking than the actual project for the class was supposed to be. This is your chance to just, you know, be totally creative and make it your own. So please don't hesitate to not do everything exactly like I'm doing it, because that, you know, it's totally up to you, whatever you want to do. Same thing with these strips. You know, I'm using these particular ones, but you may have, you know, there are extras and you may like some other ones better. So feel free to use whatever you like. Okay, now I'm just gonna stick on the Have You Been Good strip. Just gonna stick it right on the bottom there. And also, these are reversible. So, I mean, look at the backs of them, and if you see a saying or something that you like better, feel free to use it. I just liked this one because it had the brown in it that I thought went well with the page. And now I'm just gonna take some ribbon, some of the gingham ribbon. I'm just gonna cut off a little, like 1.5 inch piece. I'm gonna fold it over to make a little ribbon tab. And I'm going to stick it under my first piece of my accordion, just like that. I'm going to take one of my decorative brads and my paper piercer, and I'm just going to poke a hole right through them there, just to give me a guideline as to where to poke my brad. Pop that down, and we will be all done with the first page. Just open up the prongs here real quick. Straighten that out a little bit. There you go. Page 1, all done. Woohoo! Okay, page 2, we're just gonna flip over the back here, grab our Jingle Bells paper and our Hanging Your Stocking saying, and go ahead and glue those down. This page is super simple. Pop that on there. Sorry, sometimes it's hard for me to be super exact when I've worked at an angle here, so hope that's not driving you crazy. And now just go ahead and stick on your little seine. I'm gonna put mine down just this way so that you can still see that Jingle Bells title there, because I love that music paper. And let's grab page 3.